Hey guys, it's Mona for FandomSound, and today we are reading Impressions by Amarissia, which is the first part of her Decorum series, featuring Sephiroth and Zack, and rated M, pretty much because the whole series is, not so much for content, she says. So, here we go. Sephiroth scowled at the inbox on his desk. Normally he liked to see this tray empty, because it meant no more annoying forms to sign. Why Shinra would not simply let him do what he did best, kill things, and leave the paperwork to the others, Sephiroth did not know. But today something important was supposed to be on his desk, the final report on a recent mission to the slums of Midgar. Said mission had started out as a patrol following reports of suspicious activity, and quickly turned into a firefight with soldiers and Turks on one side, and a new gang of arms dealers on the other. Further action could not effectively be taken against this annoyance until all the information gathered was submitted and reviewed. Besides, Song had gotten his full report in yesterday afternoon, and if there was one thing Sephiroth would not stand, it was the irresponsible, untrustworthy Turks showing better organizational skills than his own soldiers. His facial expression remaining passive, Sephiroth left his office and contemplated the two directions the hallway offered him. Angeal Hewley, his second-in-command, had left the slum mission personally, and it was utterly unlike Angeal to be late with paperwork. What could be keeping him? The answer came immediately. Commander Hewley, second only to Sephiroth in the awe and respect accorded him, had recently done something that surprised all who knew him. He had taken a young third-class soldier under his wing, no pun intended. Angeal, more social than Sephiroth, but nonetheless a loner, had mentioned his new apprentice a few times, but had not offered any reason for this uncharacteristic and extreme gesture. Of course, the past few months had been busy for Sephiroth, with the flares of resistance going on in Wutai. He had not yet gotten to meet the third class, and knew only his name and what the file and other soldiers said. Zack Fair. Sephiroth's memory was as sharp as a scythe, and the name was sufficient to release a flood of absorbed and overheard information. A native of Gungaga, an only child, exemplary scores as a soldier cadet in all areas, a third class, age 17. What's more, Fair was reported to be far ahead of his class, and Commander Hines was already putting his name forward for promotion. They would delay a little. No need to ostracize Fair by rushing him ahead of his peers, but Fair must truly be something to have had so many voices praising him. Oddly, a few of these voices showed bitterness or jealousy. How could Fair be exceptional and well-liked at the same time? Sephiroth, as a teenager, would have greatly appreciated an answer to that question. The general made an educated guess as to Angeal's location and headed in the direction of the VR training room. Was that reason for this unexpected mentorship that Angeal merely wished to encourage and reward what would no doubt one day be an excellent first class? Still, it seems unlike Angeal to give so much time and attention to anyone. Fair must be more similar to him in character and temperament than I have heard. Angeal would not willingly put up with any other kind. "Angeal, you said you wouldn't do it again!" Commander Hewley smiled grimly. That playful, whiny tone of voice should have irritated him. A lot of things about Zack should have. He was everything Angeal found annoying in young people, and had never been himself. Loud, impetuous, overly energetic, unfocused. It made no sense that he should already be so fond of the boy, but he was. It wasn't even knowing Zack would be a great soldier. It was more the feeling of pride Angeal had for him, as he supposed one would in a younger brother. He had grown up with two friends close enough to be honorary siblings, but Sephiroth, who outshone everyone, who was so puzzled by affection, was no one's little brother. "I have also told you to be prepared for anything. If you go into a combat situation with expectations, you unconsciously make decisions before you have the needed information." Zack was mouthing the words along with him in a mocking, exaggerated manner. Angeal glared at him until he stopped. "Your enemy will always try to do things that you are not likely to anticipate. If you have given more effort to maintaining your concentration, you will not be thrown so easily." Zack pouted. "It's sadistic to have a Sephiroth training program in here at all. I wonder how many cadets have run into it and wet their pants." "Too many, which is why the VR room is available only to third classes and up," Angeal said dryly. "Why does the Sephiroth program bother you so much?" 'Cause it's unbeatable?" "Sephiroth is, perhaps, not the program. I honestly don't understand. Aside from the occasional problems caused by your wandering attention span, you meet the challenges I set you with little difficulty. You will be an exceptional soldier." Zack smiled hopefully and proudly. I lost my place. It was a sort of expression nobody could help returning, even someone as stoic as Angeal. "But if you have some specific issue pertaining to the general that is causing you to falter in your training, it must be addressed and corrected," Angeal said, speaking in a gentle tone he had not often needed before. "The higher you climb through the ranks of soldier, the more contact you will have with the general. If it is pure intimidation, that will go away on its own. If not—" Angeal paused. Had he said something insensitive? Fair, normally so cheery and bouncy, was looking glumly at his feet and letting the point of his sword drag along the floor. He had never seen Zack look so dejected, not even when he caught the boy about to take on a Marlborough alone and dragged him away by the ear in the presence of other soldiers. "Zack, if you talk to me about this, perhaps I can help." "You can't," Zack said quietly. "It's dumb." "Are you concerned I might laugh?" "If I thought I could get you to laugh, it would be worth telling you." "Then why can you not tell me?" the commander asked, genuinely perplexed. "I don't know. It's embarrassing. It will stay between us." Zack shook his head. Angeal was beginning to get frustrated. Most of the time it was helpful that Zack was not easily intimidated. It made their student-teacher relationship more comfortable for both of them. But Angeal was now annoyed that his silent glare, so useful in frightening other people, promoted nothing from Zack but a roll of the eyes. "Very well. Come on, training is over for the day." "What? Why? I was just starting to get serious. I was kicking butt until you had the tip of Mazamune 3 inches from your nose." "Huh," Zack scoffed. "That would freak anyone out. Well, maybe not you. Anyone with nerves and facial expressions, though. It was the 4th time today. You knew it was a hologram. You should have been prepared. You said you weren't going to call it up anymore. I would be remiss in my duty to you if I did not force you to confront this problem you have with Sephiroth," Angeal said sternly. "It's not a problem!" Zack nearly exploded. I can't talk about it." "You cannot talk about it?" "Well, that would seem to confirm that there is indeed a problem," Angeal sighed, hating having to press the issue and knowing no other way to resolve it. "I can't have you distracted like this. I'm barring you from active duty until I get to the bottom of it." "You can't do that." "I can, and I am. Don't take that tone with a superior officer, Lieutenant." "I apologize, Commander." Damn it, Angeal thought. I'm only making things worse. He had a better grasp of emotions and social interaction than Sephiroth did, but that wasn't saying much, and his few friendships and military background had left him ill-equipped to deal with the sulking of a teenager. Think logically, he told himself. Zack does not sulk, and he is not normally secretive. The problem has to do with Sephiroth. Younger officers' problems with Sephiroth usually stem from one of the two feelings, intimidation or attraction, but Zack doesn't get intimidated. Oh, could it be Zack? Angeal began, approaching the boy, using a kind tone. Do you truly believe I will think less of you for feeling something that at least half of all soldiers do? Zack was scowling. Had he guessed wrongly? No, the faint blush would seem to support his guess. And that was the end of part 1 of Impressions, and part 2 is coming up shortly.